Alright, it's time! Another week. ZTGD Radio. This is episode 738 for March 20th, 2023. And I ain't fucking with PC audio no more, because fuck y'all. We got a full house. We got Anthony.
I am technically here, yes.
We got Drew.
Hello.
We got Terrence.
What up, y'all?
We got the Wombat too.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Dr. Nick. Oh, shit, I ain't watched The Simpsons in a decade. What are we even talking about?
Man, me either. God.
I think everybody
That's a lie.
stopped watching The Simpsons at the exact same time, which was probably around 2001, 2002.
Yeah, but it just keeps going. You know.
Yep.
Wow, yeah.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, I heard they're bringing back a character from season 1 next week. Or maybe not next week, but this year.
Dude, I couldn't tell you, like, a character that wasn't in another season. I don't fucking know.
Is that character humor?
Yes.
Man.
Oh, no. Yeah. No, it's, I don't think it's a spoiler. It was blasted all over social media. It's the Marge's bowling instructor from season 1.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I don't even know what you're talking
It's
about.
not.
I don't even remember that.
That she almost has an affair with.
Yep,
But-
no clue.
Oh,
I fucking
no, I
just
do
can't
remember
believe
that.
they're trying to...
Wow.
Oh, why? They're gonna Flanderize the shit out of that character because that's all they can do now. I mean, literally the term comes from The Simpsons for a reason.
He's a Flanderer, you know.
Yeah, that's a good joke there, Ken, but it's just disappointing when we're talking about The Simpsons.
That's true. They're talking about The Simpsons and the word joke in the same sentence, you know. It's hard out there. But anyway, this is a show about video games, not about a 40-year-old TV show. It's just a 40-year-old
it's not 40
podcast.
It's not 40 yet.
It's damn close.
It's close.
It's damn close.
Man.
But anyway, let's talk about video games. We'll kick it off with Drew. What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
Nothing. Well, let's see here. I played a lot of Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Like a dragon. Hey.
I think we both finally hit that difficulty spike that everybody was talking about.
Oh, that's a fun time.
I was able to get through it. That's a really cool fight. That's the difficulty spike. Some well-known Yakuza characters show back up. Yeah, I'm still enjoying that game, even though that I did have to do some level grinding. So I was curious. I felt like I wouldn't say I felt like I was playing the game wrong. I think I got a good grasp on the concepts of it. But I had to work, not a normal shift, and there's nothing to do. So I looked up a speed run of Like a Dragon. I've been playing this game for over a month. This person beat this game in 4 hours.
They may have beat it in 4 hours, but that was after 600 hours of practicing.
Yes, this is true. And they did no glitches. And doing no glitches in a turn-based role-playing game where, you're going to have enemies that are way higher level than you and they're still beating the game. So I actually learned a few things. While level grinding is important, it's not as important as the gear you are wearing. If you can get better gear, and there is no level requirement for any gear in the game, you can get probably in-game gear at like level 10.
It's like Dragon Quest.
Well, considering Ichiban Kasuga is a massive Dragon Quest fan, I guess it makes sense. You can basically build some of the best gear in the game just by doing some side quests. And I was like, okay, well maybe this will make my life a lot easier. So that is what I have been doing, rather than continuing the story, because we weren't able to record last week because Matt was still stuck at the fight itself. So I took that time to power up my characters some with some better gear.
Power up.
I'm pretty I'm pretty deep into that game. I like it a lot. There's so many things to do in that game. There is 3 games inside that one game, and it's fantastic. I'm liking where the story's going. I can't wait to see the ending, which we're getting close. We're getting real close. But yeah, and for anybody listening, I did not spoil the game for me. I stopped at that fight just to see how the hell did you beat level 50, 2 level 50 bosses at probably level 34, and he did it, and I'm like, okay, I need to do what he did. But yeah, other than that, I did play 2 review games. I know I need to write those reviews. The first one being not Mayo, but Mato Anomalies.
No, it's Mayo. It's all about the Mayo.
Mayo Anomalies. This is a turn-based role-playing game where you go through dungeons. It's also a visual novel where you're playing like a detective story. And it's also a card game.
Oh, God damn it.
And they're not all done at the exact same time. So you will go into dungeons, walk around a la like Persona, get into fights, and then take turns battling.
I feel like we're in the renaissance of game developers who grew up playing Magic the Goddamn Gathering because everything has to have a fucking card mechanic.
So that's completely separate. So the card game comes into play. So there's basically two main characters. The one's the detective. He does not fight. Then he partners up with another guy who does all the fighting, who goes into. So it's like a neo-noir kind of world where there's like a digital world. There's also a normal world. And in the digital worlds where you're going to do the dungeons and you're fighting guys and stuff like that. In the real world, the detective will have to get information from people, and that's where the card game comes into play, because you're basically having to hack into their minds to get that information out of them. And so you will get a deck of cards, and you will try to break down their mental barriers using the cards and stuff like that. And then in between all that, say visual novel talking about basically a whole big like corporate espionage and people doing things in the stock market and stuff like that. It's very robust. The thing about it is that this is obviously a budget title, because it's just, while I don't think the game looks bad, it looks simplistic, but there's certain things that just make it come off like it was either a small team that did it or it wasn't fully polished. Because there's times where, like at the end of a cutscene, usually in a game that's higher quality, when you finish a cutscene, it kind of fades to black and then it fades back up, and you can then move around the world. This one, it's just an instant cut and you're back out, like controlling your character. It feels almost like one of those like Eurojank games where like everything's just cut instantly and you're just taking back, like there's no transitions. It feels like it's just everything's just like you're done with this scene, now it's back to moving around, and it's kind of jarring. It just feels like it's missing that polish. Is the best way I can describe it. The writing's pretty good. The turn-based combat is actually pretty interesting because it's all based on cooldowns. So you can use any ability you want to. There's no magic points or anything like that. Everything's based on cooldown. And then all of your party members share a health gauge. So you don't have to manage multiple party members. You can have like 4 people in a party, but they all have the same health gauge. So it's like the party's health rather than the individual person. So it's simplistic in that nature too. I don't know. I say it's interesting, but it just lacks that polish. Is the best way I can describe it. I don't think it's a bad game. I think if people like turn-based RPGs, they're probably gonna like this game. If they like, the visual novel, and there's not much as far as like dialogue trees or anything like that. It's basically like you're playing a linear story, and you're going from point A to point B and learning about this story. So there's no like paths or anything like that you can take. At least as far as I've gotten the game, there were none. Yeah, I got to write my review of that. I'm kind of iffy on how I feel about it, because I feel like it's not bad, but it's lacking that polish that would make it good. And then the other game I'm playing is an older game. So on Xbox, it's called Blades of Darkness. The full title is Severance: Blades of Darkness, which is a game that came out in 2001, I believe. It was a PC game.
Oh, the glory third-person PC action games from the early aughts.
So I've put probably an hour and a half into this game, and have not beat the first level. I've made it to what I think is the boss of the first level, and there is no saving. So every time I have died, I had to start from the opening cutscene again.
Oh, awesome.
Oh,
that sounds really great.
And I'm probably going to try that one more time, and if I don't, I'm going to stop and write my review. It is a action.
I don't understand how this game, like, normally we have discussions about like, oh, this game's getting a reboot, why is that? But it's like, Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, for example, did have a fan base. Have you ever heard of the original game?
I didn't even know it was an old PC game until you told me.
So there is a reason I have heard of this game, and there's only one reason why I've heard of this game. Is because I follow a person on YouTube named Iron Pineapple. And Iron Pineapple he loves the Souls series. He loves the hard games, the Souls-like games. And he goes onto Steam and plays random games that people have described as Souls-like. Most of them are garbage. And 2 years ago, he made a video. He calls them Steam Dumpster Diving is what it's called. And 2 years ago, he featured this game in one of his compilations. This is the only reason why I've ever heard of this game. He kind of liked it. He said it was janky, and it most certainly is janky, but it is definitely one of those stamina meter. Every time you attack, you're dropping your stamina. You have to circle around guys. You can lock onto enemies, that kind of thing. And it is one of those, difficult games. You could tell it was kind of like the working open blueprints that possibly From Software looked at and was like, hey, we could probably make a game out of this.
Well,
I have no idea.
Isn't this after Kingsfield?
This is after,
and stuff?
This is after their stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, that...
Kingsfield is what? 96, I think, the first Kingsfield?
Yeah, but PlayStation 1, yeah.
94. 94.
But the thing is, Kingsfield is pretty far removed from a Dark Souls game.
I don't know about that.
Not as much as
I played it recently, and it's pretty. It's basically the same thing in first person. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I could.
Let me put it to you this way, Drew. I don't think, as much as they've been like clearly inspired by certain aspects, like From Software did Kingsfield and Armored Core at the same time. I can't imagine someone not having the idea of like, what if you had Armored Core sort of, third person, but did Kingsfield?
I mean, I'm sure. I don't even know who even developed this game.
So I looked that up. Rebel Act Studios, which was created in 1996 by Spanish game distribution company Friendware. It consisted of over 18.
Made all that up, and I wouldn't doubt it.
Hold on, there's more. The development team consisted over 18 people. Xavier Carrillo was the project manager, I guess. I don't know. They did one game. They were opened in 96. And 1 year after the release of Blade, their only game, Rebel Axe Studio closed. The company fingers the piracy as the main cause. Sure.
So what you're telling me is that this company made one game and then shut down, and we're getting a remake of that.
Yes, and I don't fully understand why to this day. Because at least with stuff like Rune has had a cult following that, like, even I, who am not as part of the group of the Rune fans, like, knew that there was people that liked Rune, and then they got a sequel that is a little marred in controversy, but, like, yeah, I don't get it.
How do we have this and we don't have, like, cult shit? Like, it doesn't make it... I understand license and stuff, but goddamn.
And look, maybe there is a cult following for this game, but not to the point where you if you're not part of it, you hear about it. You know what I mean? Like, I've never heard of this game before. You mentioned it, and I was like, oh, I wonder what that is. Typed it into Google, and then the old game came up, and I was like, hold on a second. Click the Wikipedia page, and it's like, no, this is the game that's coming out.
You know what game it reminded me of? Because I did play a little bit of it because they sent me one.
Enclave?
No, not Enclave. Die by the Sword.
Yeah.
If you've never played big box PC Die by the Sword, this game, like, feels almost control-wise identical to that old ass game.
Yeah, it's like a weird, like, combination of, like, old school, like, Tomb Raider.
What if you put a first-person shooter into third person? Is, like, the best way I describe the controls of those games, because your character moves like a stiff goddamn block.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, it's old school. I mean, I made it to the first boss, and he killed me.
I fell through the ground in the tutorial.
Yeah, that's what happened to him.
That's my favorite.
I don't know why they released this, but that's just me.
It's just such a weird thing. Like, and I know nobody else in the world cares, but we have not had a remaster of, like, Eternal Champions, but we get Blade of Darkness.
You know what I could go for? You know, and it's got a cult following. Why don't we get a remaster or a remake of Alpha Protocol? You know?
Yeah, that's
fantastic.
Wombat's sitting over in the corner going, motherfucker, we ain't had a Kane game since the PS2.
This is true too.
I'm in the corner.
There's Bushido Blades since the PS1.
There's tons of stuff that they could, remake or revitalize. That
Squaresoft ain't gonna make a new Bushido Blade unless it's an NFT, Ryan. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's true. We haven't had a new Jet Moto in 25 years either. So.
Yeah, but if you played the third one, that's okay.
No, yeah.
I just need you to stop standing for a new Eternal Champions.
No, I will never.
Are we gonna finally figure out who that dude to shoot that on the cover?
In space?
No, I will never stop championing for a new Eternal Champions. I'm sorry, it's never gonna happen.
What I don't get more than anything else is, like, so clearly somebody bought this game for, like, next to nothing, I guess, but work had to be done on it still. Why?
Dude, so I don't know.
It was like a,
you know what I mean? Like, at that point, like, there's games that you don't have to put any work into that I'm sure you could buy too, or not as much work into.
How much are they charging for this game, Ken?
Isn't it $15?
Is it $15?
I think it's $15. I'm gonna double check.
That's one of those games that'll sell like 136 copies in a Steam sale for $3 a piece.
That's probably the best time to pick it up.
Yep.
I mean,
$14.99.
I'm not saying that this is a bad game. It's definitely a product of its time, but it's one of those games that's just like, I'm not making any progress. The only progress I've made is I know where the enemies are now. Which I guess that's how a friggin' Souls game plays. So I don't know. The only that's the biggest thing for me is, like, I have did 3 runs of the first level, which is probably about 20 minutes. And each time I have to literally start back from choosing my character and the opening cutscene again. And I'm like,
you can't skip it.
I mean, you can skip it, yeah, but I'm just like, it's just like, now I have to escape prison again. I have to go through here, and like, I have all this shit memorized at this point. But I'm just like, could I not just get like a save point or an auto save or anything like that?
They want you to see that truly rad character select screen that gives you motion sickness where it flies through the castle.
No kidding, right? And I keep choosing the same character. So maybe I need to try a different character. Maybe that's my issue.
I'm pretty sure they all play the same.
That's my thing too. Is like the only difference is that certain characters are proficient with other weapons.
Woohoo!
And I don't know. And the tutorial also didn't tell you how to use your shield, so I pick up a shield and I still don't know how to use it.
That's quality
Nice.
video games. I'm so glad they. Well, the worst part is they bought the rights and brought it back, and they literally did nothing to it.
No. And just made it work on an Xbox controller.
Woohoo! Probably just mapped some fucking Gravis pad firmware or some shit into it.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there that I just wish would come back that isn't owned by anyone. By the way, like, unfortunately, like, stuff that's owned by, like, certain companies, you go, like Eternal Champions, Sega owns it. Sega has other things they're going to focus on, and you just have to, like, shrug your shoulders and be like,
What's funny is I
Wow.
actually got some backstory to that game because I follow. Oh, what's his name on Twitter? He's worked on a lot of old games, and he actually worked on Eternal Champions, and he went into an explanation of why it hasn't come back.
and want to share that.
If I remember correctly, it was because one part of it is licensing. They can't get the licensing, and the source code for it is like really, really hard to recompile. So that was the explanation that I got, is that it will probably never happen.
Well, maybe they'll
There you
just
go.
add one or two of those characters into Mortal Kombat, like the super memorable character.
And the other guy,
The other guy.
Oh, but don't forget about my personal favorite. That's
We
it,
are
man.
we are
I gotta-
we are
The
all
shark.
discounting.
The-
We are all discounting fake Blade that shoots his laser into the sky.
my favorite character is the shark, and then
Yeah, the Fan Blade is my favorite character.
Y'all
Dude,
just hating on a
those-
quality video game.
Nah, man, those fatalities are dope. Like those are awesome. Like
I would
those
hope
little
so,
finishing
because it's
moves
the
that they
only
have.
thing the game had.
Yeah, it is. Like that's pretty much it. Yeah.
No, you
those-
could play as a chicken, and his name was Crispy.
Okay, that's awesome. I didn't know that. I missed
File that
video.
file that in the same folder as Meat
Yep.
and Mocap.
I don't want to talk about meat.
Oh, there you go.
All right, what else you got, Drew?
I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, I play a little bit of Overwatch, but who cares? Yeah.
The most like, I hate this game, but I can't stop playing it.
Yeah.
Ever.
I
It's,
guess.
it's like Amanda with Dead by Daylight because she continues to go back and like complains about it. And I'm like, why do you keep playing it? And that's us, I guess, with Overwatch. Because I keep saying, man, fuck this game. And then y'all be like, we about to get on. All right, give me 5 minutes. Like,
Man, I got mad, quit last night, and then like 3 hours later, I was like, I'm gonna run a couple.
You know what? I saw you. I was playing Diablo. And I saw you get on and playing comp. I was like, this man is addicted. He got a sickness.
I am definitely down with the sickness.
Oh, man.
All right, move on to Anthony, I guess, if you're wrapped up, Drew.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
All right, Anthony, what you got?
so the Eternal Champions character I love.
Oh, here we go.
Man, I don't got much. Overwatch 2 again. You know, I have yet to try Mystery Heroes comp.
It's wild.
Yeah, I
done it
have
yet
to play
either.
by myself. Yeah, so
Sorry.
yeah, well,
No, you can play with me because we're. Oh, God dang it.
We'll
We
do
Y'all
that.
can play together as long as I'm
Yeah.
not there. That's the problem.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Terrence, we got to up our ranks after podcast. I have played. Okay, well, Clive and Wrench ain't great. I'm just gonna say that. I was even trying to play. Fucking, he got stuck in the wall, and I was just like, "Yeah, we're pretty much done here." It's bad. So when I get like behind on reviews, generally it's because there's like one game I don't want to touch, and I'm just like fucking ostrich and bury my head in the sand. Clive and Wrench, in theory, I should love. But it's so fucking janky. And I know it was made by, like, mostly one guy, so it's hard to be like, oh, why isn't this better? But there's certain things where it's like, I thought, you know what, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it's because I'm playing the Switch version. I've looked up gameplay of other versions, and it's like, no, there's some issues. First of all, the main character doesn't feel like he's ever fully engaged with the world. Like, for example, and I'm going to use, I know they got a ton of money for it, but like, Yooka-Laylee. Yooka-Laylee is not the best 3D platformer, partially because they thought stamina meters
That's
were,
my favorite Eternal Champions character, by the way.
Yeah, they added a stamina bar, and I was like, why would you do that in a 3D platformer? But Yuka and Laylee always felt like they were consistent within the world. They felt like they had weight. They felt like they belonged in the world. And Clive and Wrench fails that. Part of it is because some assets don't look like they belong. Like, why does a slice of pizza in the first level, which is like, you know, small, you're small inside a normal world. Like, why does a slice of pizza look more realistic than everything else? Like, that's a bit jarring, and that's just the best example. But, like, there's a bunch of stuff like that where it's like, okay, this didn't need to be as detailed as it is, and this part needs to be more detailed for it to even look consistent to the main character. For something that has way more budget and way more people working on it. Super Mario Odyssey, New Donk City. Yes, the people look weird, but they feel consistent within the world. Like, it doesn't... It's weird to see Mario stand next to, like, what looks more like an actual person. But it feels believable inside the game world that they've built, and that is a problem that Clive and Wrench has, partially because all the enemies are little demon things that run at you, and that gets to my second problem. Combat sucks. Your attack feels like it doesn't connect to anything. It feels like you just do a motion, and for those couple of frames that if anything runs into you, maybe they get hurt, but like, I always get hurt attacking enemies because there's no, like, it doesn't feel good to play. So I know that this guy has worked on it by himself. I'm sure he got a bit of help for porting and stuff, but like, it just doesn't feel great. Like, for as long as it is a smaller game, because there's a bunch of worlds, but like, for as small of a game developer, like, studio as he's running, like, because again, I assume other people came to help once he finished his Kickstarter or whatever. It's been fucking over 5 years of development. Probably even more closer to 10, I think. And yeah, it just doesn't feel good to play, which is the biggest disappointment. It's like the first thing you should worry about in a platformer. Because if it doesn't feel good, then I'm not going to want to spend time in it. I don't love the work from Haze Light. Obviously I gave their first game mediocre score, but It Takes Two is one of the best feeling platformers I've ever played in my life. And I had to play that with somebody else, and that was a little disappointing, like having to just not be able to experience the whole game by myself, which meant that we had to keep organizing time, but like, goddamn, that fucking game feels so goddamn good, and this fucking Clive and Wrench just does not feel remotely close to feeling good.
Yeah, I played a little bit of it, and the thing that stuck out to me really badly was the jump. The jump doesn't feel
bad
good.
Too.
It doesn't feel good.
No, the jump doesn't feel good, and the attack doesn't feel good. Guess what you're doing for most of this fucking game?
Jumping and attacking.
Yeah, bingo. Also, the swimming sucks.
I didn't. Wait, did I make it to the swimming? Oh, I did the swimming in the tutorial, and I was like, wow, this feels bad too.
Yep. Yeah, it feels like it was made in a vacuum. Like, the only thing you ever got to play was Jack and Daxter, but actually, no, the only thing that you ever got to see was Jack and Daxter.
Yeah.
And you based the game based on what you saw on Jack and Daxter. Yeah, I and I was like, you know what, just give it another shot, keep pressing through, and then he got stuck in a wall, and I'm just like, I'm done. I can't, this is not enjoyable for me in the slightest. What is enjoyable, though, because I talked about last week, and I'm still fucking playing, is the Fist of the North Star game. I took a total deviation from doing important things, and did the entire bartending minigame, where you mix drinks, and You're Already Drunk is one of the best drink names I've ever seen in a video game. I love that. And finished all of that. I've been doing Coliseum matches in and out, but I got into I don't know what they call it, hostess manager? Nightclub manager, I think is what they call it. Which is way too fucking in-depth. I was, like, not expecting it to be that intense, but it is fucking awesome. You have all the girls you have to manage, and I guess it's just like, I was trying to explain to a friend who I thought would be really good because they can do management stuff really well. A bottle service girl, I guess, is kind of what it is. And you have to send them to the right table because the clients have different tastes and women's. Some women are cute, some of them are tough, some of them. So it's just like, I'm constantly having to throw, like, you can only have 6 girls working that night, and the goals change from night to night. And it's fucking insane because there's some side stories that are attached to it, and you're trying to pay off like this $99 million debt for breaking a vase, because sure, fuck it, why not? And yeah, it's just fucking insane, like how much you have to be juggling, like what certain people want, and they're gonna leave soon, but I need that girl for the next guy because he likes that type of girl, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm like, this is fucking crazy. Oh, and then I haven't yet had to do it yet, but if the guys get rowdy, you have to step in. And apparently, like, if it's a standard citizen, you have to just walk up, and there's, like, different ways of dealing with them, like offering a discount, which cuts into your profits, or, like, just giving them a polite smile. And then if it's one of the...
Go ahead.
I was saying, if it's one of the, like, wastelanders, which are the guys you fight, you walk in and you I guess because you do, like, your finisher moves on them. I've been obsessed with how fucking intense that is, but I'm trying to do all the sub stories before I finish the game, because, like, I'm not going for platinum. There's no fucking way. Some of the fucking... Specifically, the Doctor minigame is such a pain in the ass rhythm game that it's just not happening. But yeah, I'm trying to get as many of the stories done before I move on, because I don't know if there's a point of no return in Fist of the North Star. So I'm just trying to do it while I can.
Do all of that studio's games have a business thing? Because I've only played, I've played some of the other Yakuzas, but I haven't, like, really dug into, like, the minigame stuff until I played Like a Dragon. So, like, got caught up in the business minigame thing, and it's like, and you talking about this, like, it sounds very similar to that, only you run in what sounds like a high strip club, I guess. I don't know.
But that's the thing. Like, I hate. It's weird describing this because it's not a strip club at all. Like,
it's just like the Yakuza 0 has almost the exact same mechanic.
Oh, okay, I did that
it
in
is
that.
like Yakuza 0.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I did. Okay, yeah, I did do it in that one. Okay, yeah. All right, so yeah, my question still stands. Does all those games have that type of, like, does it have like a business simulator thing within them? Like, is that just a Yakuza or whatever the name of that studio is. I don't know. Ryu Gakagugu. I don't know the name of the studio. But is that just like their
what the
thing?
fuck just happened?
That's my second favorite character from Eternal Champion.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know what the name of the studio. You know what the name of the studio is.
Ryo Gotoku.
You know what you
God damn
reminded
it,
me of there,
fucking
Terrence?
talking. I'm like,
And you gonna sit here and act like it's a normal name like Stanley, and you over here having to make sure you pronounce it just right
Terrence,
too. Like,
I mean, if you're Japanese, it could be. God.
Terrence, did you just turn into
mean-
baby Forrest Whitaker? Gaga goo goo.
I want some milk.
Put my name in it. I like it when it's personal.
Oh, that show is so good. Okay, I'm sorry, but yeah, I was just wondering if that was like a thing because it's been in a lot. At least the stuff that I've played, I didn't realize that it would even carry over into freaking Fist of the North Star, which is awesome. But all right,
Goo goo.
I mean, like, I don't know what else is there. I mean, they have the arcade, which is weird because I have to find the fucking arcade machines. I can't just enter and play the arcade games. I found a Sega Mark III, which is just a Master System, that's broken out in the desert. But the cartridge that came with it is clearly the Fist of the North Star game that became, I think, Black Belt in America. So I have to get that fixed still too. But yeah, there's a bunch of some of them are definitely carryovers. I was gonna say I thought the nightclub management was. I don't think the bartending one is, or if it is, they really changed it to make it Fist of the North Star style because he does like his finisher moves as he's making the drinks.
I want to play that. I have so many things that I'm.
You also don't have a PlayStation.
It's on the list.
So
I know. That was what I was going to end with. I don't have a PlayStation, so it's it's on the wait list.
This is the only one that I think is PlayStation only.
yeah, the Fist of the
It
North
is
Star
weird.
game is that and
Because it
Dead Souls.
Okay, well, one of the two is good. I'm just surprised they never had a PC release.
Yeah, that's weird. I'm also surprised, and I know why has the Yakuza games never come to the Switch? That seems weird, right?
Probably. I wonder if there's just too much memory needed to.
The
find
Witcher
something
runs
that
on
detailed.
Switch. It's bigger than
That's
Yakuza
true.
games.
That's true.
That's the one I always have to go back to. I'm like, if you can do The Witcher on the Switch, you can do pretty much any open world game.
It's not a cloud. The Witcher's not a
Switcher.
cloud.
No,
thing?
The
Like,
Witcher
no.
is native, son.
Oh,
Was that not Panic Button?
okay.
Yeah, and it's all on one cart too, which is crazy.
Panic Buttons.
It's
Man,
a wizard.
Panic-
Damn.
They're fucking. I mean, they're the people that made Doom. Fucking run. Which, yeah, god damn.
Them motherfuckers truly from Hogwarts.
Let's see.
I ain't
I'm
gonna
looking.
lie.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking at their shit again. It's so funny because they went from doing some real crap, like Attack of the Movies 3D.
I'm looking at their shit again.
Yeah,
They went from doing some real crap.
yeah. Hulk Hogan's main event.
Oh,
There was a Kinect wrestling game.
I forgot about that game. Holy shit!
Kinect Star
There was
Wars.
a Connect wrestling game.
Yeah, Hulk
That's exactly
Hogan.
I
the
remember Connect
response you
Star
should-
Wars.
wow.
They did, and then their first port was Missplosion Man to the PC, which I can't imagine was a difficult one. But yeah, then they started doing Injustice, Gods Among Us for the Vita, Octodad to Wii U.
I hate to think about the kind of things you have to yell into the Kinect microphone in the Hulk Hogan game.
Oh god!
That's what I'm like. Yeah, how would you even play a wrestling game with the Connect?
They put you
Like,
on a list when you
they-
repeat
yeah.
what Hulk Hogan wants you to say.
No, I was gonna
Yeah.
say they all of a sudden it's recording you in your room, and they're interjecting Bubba Love Sponge's wife next to you.
Jeez.
All right then. What else you got, Anthony?
Fucking nothing.
All right.
I'll talk about two that were like really basic. I played a building full of cats and a castle full of cats, which are just like point and click, sort of find where the cats are hidden. Way more difficult than I thought it would be at times. The first one was really basic, but a castle full of cats has a bunch of Castlevania parody in it.
What is this
and
on?
it's
Is this PC?
just PC? Yeah, it's literally just find the cats.
I think there's a Twitter account for that.
Well, what was interesting is like apparently.
Yeah, there's no cat in this image. Is the Twitter account you're thinking of?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is like all hand drawn, and the castle full of cats actually locks off certain parts of the castle until you've found certain keys and everything. It was a kind of interesting thing. Apparently, they donate some of the money from their sales to helping get cats adopted.
Castle Full of Cats is my favorite stage in Eternal Champions.
And that's it for me. So.
That was really good.
All right, Terrence, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna go real fast on some of these, and then just go for the last one, which will evoke a lot of conversation because I played a lot of shit. Okay, so the stuff I'm reviewing, two of them can't talk about a lot of this one, but Saga of Sins is what I'm playing.
That's not out to the 30th, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna talk about how it is. I'm just it's a Metroidvania. I love the art style. It's very that Pentiment style, the stained glass kind of graphics, side scroller. But we'll talk about it more next week. Have a Nice Death I'm reviewing on the Switch, which is, god dang it, it's a roguelite.
Of course it is.
Yeah, because everything is. But it's really good. The combat is really fast and fluid. I dig the story so far. So it's your Death, who has been working forever by himself, and he gets tired, and they co-found Death Inc. With someone, and he ends up being like the CEO, and so he's like doing paperwork all day, and then he ends up getting burnt out, and then coming down into like from the tower in his building, in his office building, to find that everything is in chaos, and so you go into the levels basically cleaning up the company. This is the premise. So it's got a lot of humor. The art style is kind of not necessarily cel shaded, but it's kind of got a cartoony kind of vibe. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. A little bit that I played, I haven't got to do a whole lot. Just got it yesterday, but I'll be reviewing that. The other one I'm reviewing that I got yesterday too is Cereza and the Lost Demon, which I didn't care about Baby Cereza, Baby Bayonetta when I saw the trailer. I love the name Cereza, by the way. Actually, my wife's dog's name is Cereza. But this game is not bad. So you control with one stick on the Switch. You control Cereza's movements, and on the other you control Cheshire. So the demon that possessed her stuffed cat. And what it is it's, I guess, if you care about Bayonetta's story at all, it's her childhood essentially. So her training and becoming an Umbra witch. What happened with her parents, because she's the child of a witch and an angel, and so it kind of, I guess, it fills in that stuff. I'm still super early, but the mechanics are really good. So it has combat. The demon actually handles the combat with Cereza or Bayonetta. You basically cast spells, so you're open gateways and summon bridges and stuff like that. Again, super early into it, but I'm digging what they're going for so far. Operation Raccoon City, me and Ken messed around and shot some zombies. That was a janky good time.
You just like to watch me fall on the floor. Yeah,
because I don't know why. That's just how he moved around the level, is just to run and dive. Whatever. No danger, just run. This dude makes this sound effect.
Of course I make the sound effect, like run and be like, huh.
Oh, good times. I started near Automata.
Automata.
Right? Yeah, Automata.
Or is it Automata?
Wow, okay.
Anthony, correct me.
It might be Automata.
I mean, I don't think it's ever said out loud, so everybody's guess is as good as mine.
I think it's Automata.
Automata.
Okay.
I would say.
Well, look.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think I say it near Automata. So
it's good. I'm early in that as well, because like I said, I'm
how early? Where are you at?
So what I put in the chat was the last thing. So I beat the naked. First of all, that was weird as all get out. Like we're down here fighting these talking robots, and they all form into this giant ball, and then spit out a naked android. And I'm like, what the hell am I playing?
You're playing Nier Automata. That's what you're playing.
Yeah, my wife comes in and she's like, "Why are you fighting a naked Ken doll?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know. It just birthed." But yeah, so I just beat that. And I'm supposed to go back and report my findings to command and stuff. But that's so it's weird, but I dig it. I like that I like that it blends the kind of bullet hell, which was really off-putting at first because I knew it was an action an action fighting game or action, I guess, adventure game from Platinum, but I didn't know it had all that bullet hell mechanics in there. But I'm not a fan of bullet hell mechanics, but it actually works in this. I don't know, I dig it.
There's a chip that you're gonna want to look for that basically turns the combat into Bayonetta. There's a thing you can do that makes it so you have the witch time.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't remember what the chip is called, but that's an optional thing you have to install.
Go ahead and get one of your endings out of the way by taking your life support chip out.
Oh, really?
There's how many endings is there? 30 something?
It's
oh my god.
Hold on, let me think.
They're all numbered. They're all lettered. So
lettered. Yeah, I think there is 26.
Okay, so there's one. And some of them are super simple. One of them is literally take your life support chip out and you get credits.
One of them's eat a fish. Yeah, it is 26.
Yeah.
One of them's eat a fish, and you die immediately.
Wow. I just figured out that you could fish. Actually, when I was running back from that thing, I was like,
useless
"Oh my god!"
mechanic in that game. It's a
is it?
Okay.
There's no reason to do it, but you can do it.
I think you need it for an achievement or trophy.
It's kind of like in Hogwarts when you tell the Clippers to clip the bush. There's no point to that.
Yeah, there's no point. It just kind of
you just do it.
Okay.
What else is there? There's one where it's a certain point in the game, if you literally just turn around and walk away from it, it ends.
Yeah, the credits start rolling and the music plays. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That game is cool as shit.
Yeah, that's the type of shit Yoko Taro does in all of his stuff. When I say, this is technically the third game in the Nier series, Drakengard 1 has 20 fucking different endings for a game that's Garbaggio.
Jesus.
But it's a fucking not a great ripoff of Dynasty Warriors.
So in this though, is there different enemy varieties besides these robots that are shaped like pills?
Yeah. You'll
cool.
get them later. That will be your main enemy throughout.
Okay.
Goddamn, I'm now remembering the tree people. Jesus,
there's tree people.
That's dark. That whole sequence.
That was the other thing
dark.
because it's very brown. There's not a lot of green. Because I was in the desert and then the dilapidated buildings and stuff. Of course, obviously, it's going to look like that. So, is there other?
Oh yeah.
Areas.
Yeah. You haven't made it to the city
cool.
yet with the fireworks.
The carnival.
And, the carnival. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
The one of the best you will grow to like those enemies because when they're not those enemies, you're gonna be this is a little bit more time than just me running through and slashing them all in half. But there's a moment in that game where the best way I can say it is their voices become part of the music. And that is one of the coolest fucking things.
There's so many moments in that game. So many.
It's the become as gods.
Nice. That's the name of the edition that I'm playing. So
that is what they are singing, but in context it'll make a lot more sense.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's the other thing that I really like about this game is the music. Every track I've heard so far has just been fire. I'm going to have to buy the soundtrack. It's so good.
Funny because I don't think there's as many vocal tracks in Nier Automata, and they made their own fucking language for the essentially for the first game.
Yep.
Oh.
Fucking what a brilliant fucking game
That's
that is.
fancy.
Like, and the thing is, like, go in expecting some like mindfuck philosophy sort of stuff, because that's what those games are like really good at.
I've actually beat
I
that
kinda
game
figured.
like 4 times. That's not counting the extra endings.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I want to go back and actually platinum that game and finish the DLC.
So good.
I didn't realize it had DLC. All
Yeah,
right.
the DLC is just like an extra boss fight against
Well,
like
it's
the
included in
Square
the
Enix. Yeah,
it's included in the Xbox version, so you're good.
Square Enix
Oh,
CEO. He comes
What?
down and you fight him.
Seriously?
I'm not fucking kidding you. He's in a business suit. It looks like him.
Dude,
yes.
you fight Adam and Eve at one
That's
point.
awesome.
I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Holy crap! Oh, this game is wild. This is turning into freaking Death Stranding. That's the other one that I really want to get back to because I was enjoying that game quite a bit.
Like if Hideo Kojima is like commenting on the world we live in, Yoko Taro's stuff comments on who the fuck we are. That's the best way I can put it. Like his is more philosophical, and Kojima's more like a commentary on where we're going.
All right, it's good to know. All right, couple more. Splatoon 3. Finally got to dig into that some more. That is a blast. Thank you for that, Ryan. And also,
You're welcome.
Ryan is my game pusher. I got WWE 2K23, and that is so much fun. And I haven't played a wrestling game, for real, probably when I was a kid. Like I had Battlegrounds and just kind of put it around a little bit, but like it's so good. Like the fighting mechanics with like the combo breakers and like the kind of mental games that you play. Like I went online and played against somebody after I finally felt like I had a grasp on it. And that match lasted so long, and it was like watching a match on TV. Like, cause he was, outguessing my stuff, and I'm trying to fake him out. Like it was the parries and the counters. Like it was, I don't know. That game is really good if you like wrestling stuff. And then the superstar mode was pretty good as well. The Super Cena had me rolling. You really couldn't see him. He was invisible. Wild. Okay. And then I also played, which I'm sure a lot of people did. I don't know if any of y'all did other than Ken, but the Diablo 4 beta.
Are we gonna talk about that? We're gonna talk about Exoprimal.
We can talk about Exoprimal. We can save Diablo for you because I know you talked about or you played it.
Well,
so
I'm sure Drew will talk. Well, Drew didn't play it, did you?
Nope.
Diablo?
Oh shit. Okay,
No.
well we'll talk about Diablo, but I thought we were gonna talk about Exoprimal first.
Yeah, let's talk about Exoprimal. We'll talk about Exoprimal. So Exoprimal, you're killing dinosaurs. It's in
There's a lot of
beta.
dinosaurs.
It's a hell of a lot of dinosaurs. It's actually impressive.
It's like Dead Rising levels of dinosaurs, except these motherfuckers are flying.
Yep, it's insane. Like the one, and I don't know if you got to play this map, but because there's different modes that you play. Let me set it up. So the whole game is a PvE VP, and what happens is the setup seems to be you're training for something. You're doing war games versus these dinosaurs in these exosuits, and there's different classes. There's attack, support, and tank, and they have different weapons. Like there's one that kind of acts like a Junkrat. He has grenades, and he can set the dinosaurs on fire and stuff like that. They also have different abilities, like an Overwatch character would have too. Each of the suits have different stuff. But so when you're placed
them on the fly, you should probably say that.
Yes,
you can literally swap them on the fly.
Yep. So I mean, like if you're in a fight and you realize, damn, we really taking a beating and ain't got enough heals, you can pop out of your suit and hop into a healer suit and then start helping your team out, which is nice. But so it plays the first initial rounds it's kind of a timed game. So it's you versus the other team, and the hunter or the watcher will tell you if you're completing objectives faster than the other team. So the rush is you get through this stuff and you fight different waves of dinosaurs. They can send a dominator after you, which is them controlling a dinosaur, either a T-Rex. I've controlled a Carnosaurus. And I think that's it. And I mean, it's as fun as it sounds. Like, and it's not like a slow moving thing. Like, these dinosaurs move fast. So like, you whipping around with this T-Rex and smashing and head flinging and tail slapping these robots, the enemy team aside. But yeah, so it's the timed rounds, and then once you get to the very last one, it turns into a versus thing, and there's different modes even in this. There's one where it's like a transport the payload, kind of like in Overwatch. There's one where you have to collect a certain amount of these cartridges, while at the same time there's these dinosaurs pouring in. So I mean, there's bunches of raptors, there's triceratopses which go crazy. There's sniper dinosaurs, I can't remember what they're called, but there's all this other stuff. And then the other team can come over and start fucking with you too while you trying to, do this objective. They can show up and start fighting, or you can go and start fighting them. So it turns into this big hectic thing. It sounds super chaotic because it is super chaotic, and Ken can tell you that there's a lot of stuff happening.
I was lost. You're like, grab the cartridges. I'm like, motherfucker, I got a raptor up my ass and the other team shooting me in the face. I ain't got no time for your cartridges.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that's happening, but it takes, and again, this is the beta, so obviously they're just throwing you into this. I guess this is the main mode. So there's not a whole lot of explanation and tutorial, so you just kind of have to, roll with what you got. So it takes a couple of matches, quite a few matches, before you really get a firm grasp on it. But once you get the loop down and everything, it's not bad. I don't think it's going to last forever, which is a good thing it's on Game Pass, because I think it will be a perfect Game Pass distraction. It's 5v5, you go in there and kill some dinosaurs. I'm curious if there's going to be other modes that will be more single player oriented, for those that just want to do PvE, like you just want to kill dinosaurs with your friends without having to worry about fighting another team. But the mechanics as far as combat and gameplay and stuff are pretty solid. Even graphics, it looks really good. Really good.
It really does. It looks really, really good, and it plays really, really fast.
Yeah, it's very fast. But it's 60 frames per second. Might have been 120. I didn't even look. But yeah, it's I dug what I played, and I'm looking forward to that release.
Yeah, I will definitely download this on Game Pass and probably mess around with it for a month. But you know what? That's good. That's fun.
Yeah. Right. Game Pass. Okay, that's it. So yeah, we go on to whoever's next. Go ahead.
Well, we can talk about Diablo because nobody else played it, right? Just me.
Oh,
and you?
yeah. Okay. Well, I thought we were going to was it just? Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So in Diablo 4,
I deleted it immediately because I'm like, I don't want to play any more of this. It's so fucking good.
Why are you like this?
Dude, I don't like to play. I like to. So Diablo is a game where I'm going to play a ton of it, and it's because I want to collect all the shit and build up my characters. And right now, there's no point because I'm going to lose all of this stuff.
True.
I didn't.
But there's
need
no
more.
guarantee. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I don't need any more convincing, goddamn Blizzard.
Oh, I got you.
Blizzard with your cinematics. Jesus Christ. I'm invested in this story. I've never been invested
those
in...
cutscenes are
oh my God.
so sweet.
Do you not want to get that, the max level so you can get your free stuff?
You mean the fucking puppy that sits on your back? I don't give a shit.
Okay.
I want that. And there's something else too. I don't know what it is. They're giving out something else too. And that's the thing too, because everybody was flipping out because of all the issues that you couldn't get in the first day with the queue issues and stuff. The whole getting to max level and earning the free stuff is actually for the open weekend, which is next weekend anyway. So that's why I feel like this was just a test for the open beta weekend anyway. You know what I mean? So they're going to fix it all to actually let everybody in, which is wild because this is the one that you had to pre-order the game to actually get in.
Or eat a double down.
Yeah. Game business is weird.
I mean, to be fair, you don't have to eat the double down. You just have to buy the double down.
I mean, if you buy one, you better eat it. Because I want to hear about that experience.
I mean, is that the chicken sandwich that's
it's
chicken 2 pieces of chicken is bread?
Yeah, that's what...
If you hate your arteries, you can eat that.
Yeah, I would never eat that thing.
So... I bought
suicide through deliciousness.
It is. I'm gonna tell you, I bought one because I am. We're segueing. So I always like to try new stuff. If it sounds appealing to me. Well, and I didn't eat the whole thing. I'm gonna put that out there right now. I'm a big dude, yes, but that's too much. And even I looked at that and was like, damn, who is this for? But like, I wanted to taste it, so I split it up with my family. Nick, I got 6 kids, seven people, 5 kids. Lord, I got 5. I don't know where the extra kid came from.
You forgot how many kids you had. What the hell?
Right. See, that's what it do when you eat it. That's that sandwich.
I got 6, 5. Shit.
But no, it wasn't bad, but it's too much. Like, I don't know who that's for. Why would you need a chicken on chickens? Like, what the fuck? Like, America. Come on now. Anyway, Diablo 4, the cinematics, fantastic. Overall,
that opening,
go ahead.
opening fucking intro is so goddamn good. Holy shit.
Man, rip that guy.
That dude, just watching it, like, I felt it. Like, when that guy's, like, holding close, he's like, speak the words. Speak the words. I'm like, God damn it. So good.
Yep. Yeah, it was really good. It sets the tone, because once you get in there, it's definitely more Diablo 2 and overall kind of tone and feel. Like, it's very dark and gothic, very bloody. I mean, you get blood on your character and stuff. Yeah, people explode. Like, when you hit stuff, there's splashes of blood on the snow, but it looks so good graphically. And being of the age of playing, the original Diablos, back in the day, in comparison, it's just like, wow, this is where we are.
It's not arcadey like Diablo 3 either, because like I was immediately flicking the right stick to dodge, and you can't do that anymore.
Nope. Yep. You B as your dodge, and it has a cooldown. Like, yeah, it's more gameplay wise, it's more Diablo 2, definitely, than 3, because it is not arcadey. Because I went in there at first and did the because they give you 2 options for the world tier. You can do the kind of normal one where you have easier level creatures if you're new to Diablo, and then they'll give you one that's harder if you've played it before, where the monsters do more damage, they give more experience, and you get a little bit more gold. So I went with that one the first time, and I picked a barbarian because I was going to go, try that class out because I've never played as one. And I'm like, yeah, I know how to play Diablo. Just go down. Man, I got fucked up. Like, if you can't just go in there and hold a button and think you go, no, you have to have your skills and stuff like in order, because it's serious. So I had to go down to the easy level to get used to everything, and then ramped it back up. But gameplay wise, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I can't get over how good like the storytelling is in the game. So not only is the intro good, but like that whole sequence at the beginning where you go and do that thing for the city, and then like you come back and they fuck with you. And it's just like that whole sequence where he's dragging you on the cart. I'm like, God damn, this is so good.
Yep. I'm like, what is about to happen? Like, what is going on? Like, I was super confused, and I was like, oh shit, oh no. But it is really good. And I like how, because they have, Blizzard is legendary for their cutscenes, or their cinematics, but a lot of the story stuff is told in game. So the camera comes down to the more cinematic level to show you that different stuff, but it's running off the in-game engine, which is nice too.
Oh, like, I don't know. It looks beautiful.
It's beautiful. It absolutely is. Absolutely. And this is just the beta. But yeah, the world is big. So, let me go into the other stuff. So, for those that were concerned, because Drew, I know you had a question about this, or I think you had brought it up before.
Yeah.
There are other people in the world. You're not by yourself. So once you get to the first city, you'll kind of tell, because it'll kind of like flicker a little bit, and that's kind of, I guess, loading you into the server. So you'll see a bunch of people in the city, but it is nowhere close to the level of people that you see in Diablo Immortal. I've seen maybe at a time 4 or 5 people around me going into the different shops, the blacksmith or whatever, doing the armor stuff. And then once you get out into the field, I've maybe 1 or 2 people I've seen running around. When you go into a dungeon, so like the stuff that are just on the map, like, Hidden Tomb or whatever the stuff is, it's solo. So you go into that by yourself. But the overworld stuff, it is possible that you will run into somebody. They do have, like Immortal had, those world quests too.
Yeah.
you'll see like a red circle on the map. It's not too obtrusive. It's not anything that comes across on the screen that says, hey, this is happening, go do it. You know what I mean? So it's not going to pull you out of the experience, but you'll see it like on an outline if you're close by. And you're like, oh, well, let me go do this. And other people, can show up too. I will tell you, out of all the ones I've done, I've done a majority by myself, and then like towards the end, maybe somebody will show up. Like it's never a thing where like everybody is running to that location. But again, this they did have issues, so that may change at launch. But kind of letting you know what to expect.
So let me ask you this then: if that's the case, let's say I'm level 20, and I'm going and doing a world boss or whatever, and a level 5 guy comes up. How does that work?
I'm glad you asked that because I actually experienced that this morning. So I don't know because it does have world bosses. I don't remember. She was like there was some in it at different times throughout the day, which I think I missed the time for today. So I don't know how that works level wise. But the open, and I'm assuming it's going to work this. The open world events worked like this. So I think I'm level 12, and I was out there, and the enemies were all around my level. They were like 11, 12, 13, stuff like that. And a dude came out that was helping. He was like level 20 or something, and he was fighting the same stuff. He didn't one shot the same enemy that I was fighting. Like it wasn't like he was overpowered to it, where he just ended his life real quick because he was so uber powerful. Like it still took some time. So I think it tailors to your level. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So like if you're 20, you're going to be fighting level 20 stuff in that thing. If I'm 12, I'm fighting level 12 stuff. I think like that's what it appeared to me.
That worries me because
we'll speak on it. Yeah, go ahead.
If you have that kind of, what's the point of levels? If they're always going to have the enemies match your level, what's the point of leveling up?
Wasn't that just for the world events, though?
Is it just for the world events?
Yeah, I think it is because the dungeons, like I said, the dungeons are solo. Like if you go into a dungeon, even if there's 7 people around you, think of like World of Warcraft when you're waiting for a queue or something. There's people standing there, and you go into something, you went in there. Those people are still out there. You know what I mean? So it'll be tailored to whatever your level is. But I also noticed when I was looking at the map, because I haven't been across the whole thing, it's kind of sectioned off like an MMO too. Like it says like a level. So this part of the Sunken Forest, it says like level 11. But then over here on this part of the map where I haven't been, it says like level 15. So okay. I guess there's different areas for your level. But those world events, I think when you go into those little, because they're like outlined in like a red thing. Like I said, when you go in there, maybe the game like takes you, like just makes it to your level wherever you are. So if you're a level 20 in a level 15 zone, now those enemies are going to be level 20 for you, kind of thing.
Right.
I think again, I got to get higher and actually test that, but yeah.
I'll just have to try it out myself. I don't know. Some of that stuff is a little concerning to me, just because it kind of takes away from progression kind of thing. If you've got random people showing up that are level 4 and still killing stuff while you're killing stuff, it's just like, well, this is, I'm level 30, they can do the same thing I can. What the hell? It ruins the progression if you're not careful. Now, I don't know how they're handling this. I haven't actually looked into it too much. I looked at some gameplay footage, stuff like that. What I do like and what I like to see is that they're making their classes play almost completely different. They all have a special thing that only they can do. While you may have characters that all have AoE attacks, the druid is going to have this special ability while the barbarian will have this kind of an ability, and it changes up the gameplay a little bit. So I like that look. It seems to be more, it seems like a combination of both Diablo 3 and Diablo 2, because it seems like everything is nuanced as far as the combat goes, but there's also a little bit, it's more actiony than Diablo 2 is, and that's kind of how Diablo 3 was. So everybody has kind of like an evasive move, either like a teleport or a jump or a dodge or something like that. So they're trying to keep that action feel to it.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm holding my reserves for it because the MMO direction that they're going, I don't like. That's just me.
Yeah, it's very apparent that it's because when you go into the towns, like you have, blue exclamation points over some, heads, and you're like, oh, those are side quests that you can pick up. Again, when you go to have those conversations, the camera zooms in and cuts out the rest of the world. But yeah, I realized that this morning. I was like, ooh, this is exactly the MMO stuff that Drew was talking about. Like you very much feel like it's a Diablo MMO almost.
Sounds like they took a few notes from Path of Exile and they're trying to throw it in there. And I mean, that's fine to an extent. Like I said, it will be one of those things where I want to see the end game content. Diablo, nothing matters in Diablo until you get, higher level.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
You're throwing away. You pick up something that's nice for a level and then throw it away eventually.
Yep.
And obviously, the bigger question I want to know is because between Diablo 2 and then Diablo 3, the core mechanics of those games kind of changed. While Diablo 2 was definitely about the gear, it didn't center around the gear. While Diablo 3 was all about the gear that you got, and the problem with Diablo 3, I love Diablo 3, but the problem with Diablo 3 was that it relied too much on gear sets and legendaries. And if you didn't have this gear set, you were not running this game correctly. And I want them to go away from that because the last thing I want to worry about is going through a spreadsheet of get this, and this, and you'll be the best in the game. I don't want that. I want that nuanced of my druid plays different from your druid, but we're both doing some great damage, and it allows more builds that way. And it allows more kind of like customization where with Diablo 2, I could totally go with a Hammerdin if I wanted to, or I could do like a Smite build, and they play completely differently. While in Diablo 3, you had maybe two choices of play styles, and that was it. And I don't want them to go back to that. And it seems like they're not. It seems like they're trying to combine both games together with the skill tree where you put attribute points into different skills, and then keep the action the same. So I feel like the combat and action combined from Diablo 3 into Diablo 2's kind of character customization is the best of both worlds, and hopefully they get it right. Like I said, I haven't been able to play it, so I'm going to try it next weekend on the open beta and see how I feel.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what you think because talking about the classes and the skill tree, one thing I found interesting because I've played as a sorcerer and a barbarian. Oh, I played as a rogue too, so I played as the three that they have on there. So like if I remember correctly, like it was kind of split up in Diablo 2 where like the fire magic and stuff wasn't on the same tree as like the lightning magic, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So in this, on the first like ring of the tree, it gives you like as a sorcerer different. So you'll have a choice of a fire attack, a ice attack, a lightning attack, or something else, and that's like your basic attack. So when you get your first skill point, so you can pick which one you want, and then you have to put I think 2 into that, and then it branches down for your next one, which will give you again choices between fire, lightning, or ice. So they give you those different elements within each branch of the tree for you to pick from. And then also you can respec for free all the way up to level 15. Okay. So you can put a point in something and then, I changed my mind, take it all away and then change it again. So they're giving you, I guess, time, not even I guess, but time to play with your stuff before you're actually locked in. You can still respec after that. It's just going to cost gold at that point. But,
so they charge gold for it?
Yeah, that's what it said. Okay. Yeah, that's what popped up with it. Yeah.
Gotcha. Because it was really, I wouldn't say it's hard to respec in Diablo 2, but you only get 3 chances, and then after that, you got to grind for some items to respec again.
Oh shoot! Yeah, it said it charges gold, so it's for free up to 15, and then it charges gold, and then it goes up the price goes up every time you respec after that. So if it's 1,000 the first time, it might be 2,000 the next time, 4,000 the time after that, and so forth. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That sounds okay then.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts for sure. Because like I said, you're out of all of my friends, you're definitely the most Diablo knowledgeable. So I'm curious what you end up thinking about it.
So I guess the itemization is kind of the same. So you got your whites, blues.
Yes,
that kind of thing.
would. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
And I haven't looked at any of this stuff, so I don't know. Like, have they shown off a lot of the affixes and stuff like that with, like faster run walk speed or faster cast rate? I mean, is there like have you guys looked at any of that stuff and seen what kind of affixes there are on items?
I sent the screenshot actually of one of the legendaries that I picked up earlier.
Yeah, I saw that. And it looks like that. So that's straight out of kind of like Diablo 3.
Yep.
Where the legendaries, like you sent that screenshot. Let me look. See, like the legendary has a legendary affix at the bottom, basically saying if you do this, it will alternate how it works, kind of thing. That's straight out of Diablo 3. Yeah, I don't know.
There's a guy in town that you can talk to where you can, I don't remember if this was in 3 or not, where you can strip that and put it on something else. Like you can take off stuff. I can't remember the exact wording of it, but you can take off like different attributes from the legendary's weapons to move it to it has to be another legendary. And then there's another one where like when you clear certain dungeons, you unlock let's say boons, for lack of I can't remember what they're called, but it may not be for your specific character. So I unlocked one for a druid, which it buffed the shape shifting ability or something like that, and It's something that you can put that onto a weapon if you're a druid, but you unlock it for randomly for whatever classes when you clear some of these side dungeons. So
is it like I guess is it like a socketed item, like a gem or a rune?
Yes. So it works like the gems and the runes in 3.
Gotcha. And I have they detailed, like, can you have like a shared stash where like you can put something in a stash and then load up a different character and it's there?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
So there's in the main town you have like I guess an apartment. There's a box for your stash, and then there's and this is one of the places where you'll see a lot of people gather because obviously it's everybody's in the same spot. And there's a cabinet thing because you can transmog your look. So a lot of armor and things that you'll pick up will have like a little pickaxe thing on it that says if you salvage it, you can then apply that to transmog it to something else. So you can basically, make your character look how you want them to look at that facility too, or at that little house. Has
any of you guys played with other people in a party?
I have not. No, I've played outside of running into people in the world. That's it, but I haven't played with anybody in a party.
I wonder if they're allowing you to find an item and say, hey, this is pretty good for your character, and drop it for that person.
Yeah, drop it. Yeah, I had a question about that too. Yeah, we'll have to test that this weekend if we all get time to get on there, because I am curious.
Okay. I mean, that's that. I mean, I don't know. I haven't played it, so like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic about it.
I got you. Yeah, we'll find out. I guess you have more next week when you get a chance to mess with it. But that's all I got, man. I am so sorry, Lord Ken. Please,
sorry. I didn't wake up. Wombat, we got 2 minutes. Let's go.
I hate it here.
I think Wombat fell asleep. He's not answering.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. No, I was on mute accidentally. All right, so I played some more WWE, which I'm in the process of reviewing. Ken, I should have that to you today, I think.
Okay.
So I played My Rise, which I had not played before the podcast last time. It's career mode. It's pretty much just like last year's, except you've got 2 this year. You've got the Legacy, which is the female wrestler where you're going for the women's championship, and then you've got the Lock, which is the men's story. And I mean, they play fundamentally the same. You've got a hub where you talk to other wrestlers, and those conversations can lead into matches and stuff. You earn attribute points, and then you can spend those attribute points to level up your wrestler and all that kind of stuff. The story in both of them is okay. I mean, it's probably a little bit better than last year's. I think it's funny that both of them, at least early on in the story, sort of involve you being given a gimmick or outfit that your character doesn't want or doesn't think they need, and they would rather use their own creativity. And I think that's funny based on the criticisms of WWE over the years of forcing people into these horrible gimmicks. But it plays, like I said, just about like last year's. It's the game is great. It's a slight improvement, I'll say, on last year's. There are definitely a couple things that are better year over year. There are also some things that I don't understand why they didn't fix. So, for example, GM mode isn't just one season now, which is nice, but you also still can't do any secondary belts, which is just weird. The ladder matches are still where most of the clipping and collision detection issues are. I was playing a ladder match yesterday, and it's still a little bit tricky to put the ladder exactly where you want it when you're trying to climb to get the belt. You still got the sort of mini game once you get to the top, which I'm not a huge fan of, but that's been there for years. And I did, I had a couple situations where I set the ladder up. I bridged the ladder between the announce table and the apron and put my opponent on it, and then tried to jump off the top rope, and they got up, so I missed. But instead of my wrestler sort of crashing and burning through the ladder, I just clipped right through it. So those issues are much fewer and farther between than even last year's game, which, I mean, last year's was an improvement already over 21. But they are still out there. And I think the ladder match is where they seem to mostly come up. They still don't seem to have quite figured out the collision detection and the physics for the ladder. So that's at least one thing for them to improve on for next year. But overall, I agree with Terrence. It's a good game, and it plays very well, and it's an improvement over 22, which already was one of the better ones in the series. So it's well worth playing if you have any interest in WWE and or wrestling games in general. I played some more NBA. I played some more Valheim, which I'm still enjoying. I played some Dragon Quest VI, which is good, but it's Dragon Quest. I think that's it.
All right. I
did not play Diablo.
You didn't buy a Double Down? Why not?
I did not buy a Double Down. No. I may try and play the open beta next weekend. I'm not sure.
All right. Well, unfortunately, I don't have anything super interesting to talk about because, they didn't get us Resident Evil early. Otherwise, I could have told you all about that. But, still being ruined for past mistakes. Anyway.
Yeah, man.
I'm just all right. So I'll go through the indie games because I got some interesting shit to talk about here. Let's start off with the not so interesting ones. I played a game called Big Chick, and it's a game about a chicken. It's a game about a chicken, and It's literally you just go and hatch some eggs, collect some chicks, move them to the house, go on to the next level. Yeah, that's not an interesting one. They did release Kung Fury Street Rage Ultimate Edition, which if you've never played that, it's a super interesting, like old school style 2D beat 'em up.
Never even heard of it.
So there's a movie.
It's wild.
Yeah.
That movie is wild.
And this game is based off of that, and it's really just like cashing in on that, goofy 80s, like kung fu martial arts kind of stuff. With the white guy with the red headband kind of deal. But the beat 'em up stuff it's good. This Ultimate Edition contains like all the different versions of it. And it's fun. It's a solid beat 'em up. I do wish you could turn off the filter, so it's got one of those. It looks like a CRT filter, and you can't turn it off. So that was like my big complaint. I played a game called The Guys, Guise, where you're these 3 kids living with a witch, and you sneak into her room as she goes out, and you turn yourself into like this fucking monster creature because you put a mask on, and it's like a side-scrolling platform adventure game, and
It looks like it's made in paint.
yeah, kind of. It's yeah. Backbeat is a strategy music game, which is weird. Like, it puts you in a club and then it gives you like a grid and you've got to move to the stage. It's a weird game. I'm kind of flying through these because I know we're running deep. The Vernal Edge, which is a side-scrolling Metroidvania style game, it's actually really good. I was having a lot of fun with that one. All right, I'm gonna get into the. So, I played Wolcen, Lords of Mayhem, which is a Diablo ARPG style, top-down, quarter perspective kind of game. And like I'm playing it, and I played this before I played the Diablo 4 beta. I'm playing this, I'm like, man, this is pretty good. It's got a goofy story, but I'm digging it. It has all the trappings of a good Diablo-style RPG, except the text is so fucking small I can't even see, like, the descriptions of the loot when I get it. Like, that's how small it is. But other than that, it's actually pretty good. So maybe they'll improve it over time. But then I played Diablo 4, and I'm like, why would I spend time on this when I can play Diablo 4 in June? And the last game that I want to talk about, I just need to talk about this game because it fucked me up. So, it's called The Forest Cathedral. The game kicks off, and you're a ladybug walking on a 2x4. And then it pans out, and you're this dude shooting DDT into a swamp to kill mosquitoes. So I do that, and then the game cuts to an interview, a very kind of sexist interview between this guy and this girl, and she's applying for the biologist job. And during this interview, like, it keeps panning out to show the chairs they're sitting in, but they're not there. And then it pans back to the people and they're there. And then it pans back out and they're not there. And it's weird. And then all of a sudden you're in a room with an iPad that can see through walls and you're opening doors. I don't know what this game is, but it freaked me out. This game is
in
weird.
the world?
I don't
What
know.
is this called?
The Forest Cathedral is what this is called. And if you look at the box art, you're like, nothing you have just said describes this box art.
Hold on, I'm looking at the image. No, man, the box art is creepy as shit. What the fuck do you mean?
Dude, none of that is in the game that I know of that I've seen yet. Like,
I'm looking at a platformer that's like red and black.
so that happens during the iPad level. Eventually you make it to the spot where you play this
Then
2D
it's
side
showing
scroller
a
that
man
look like in Virtual
holding
Boy.
a fish.
Right? What is this game?
Oh, this sounds like it's a fucking drug trip, is what it sounds like.
Dude, I thought I was on drugs while I was playing it. I don't know what this game is, but it freaked me out. I don't know, man. If you look at
I was gonna say, I made
They
a
should
joke,
put that
but
on the
love-
box.
I
don't
love
know what
Brian
this game
Wilson.
is, but it freaked me out.
Because apparently that's who the developer is Brian Wilson.
Yeah, Brian Wilson is a developer. Like, here's the description. The Forest Cathedral is a first-person environmental thriller set on a remote island. Playing as scientist Rachel Carson, players will figure out why the island won't let her leave. The game tells the reimagined story of the attempted silence of Rachel Carson, leading up to her discoveries on the harmful pesticide known as DDT. Like, what?
Wait, is it based on a real like a real thing?
I doubt it. I don't...
Hold
dude.
on.
Dude, I don't...
She's a real
Curious
person.
there.
What the fuck is going on?
Dude, I don't know. This
She
game is
died in
wild.
1964 at age 56. She
got off that island.
late in
For
the
real.
1950s, Carson turned her attention to conservation, especially some problems she believed were caused by synthetic pesticides. The result was the book Silent Spring, which brought environmental concerns to an unprecedented share of American people. Although Silent Spring was met with fierce opposition by chemical companies, there's a fucking surprise, it spurred a reversal in national pesticide policy, which led to a nationwide ban on DDT and other pesticides.
Dude, I don't...
What a weird fucking thing to base a fucking video game on.
Yeah, but like, literally the level is you use the iPad to like see through the walls and take pictures of like fucking dummies. I don't know, man. It's a weird
she had
game.
the first iPad back in 1955. So.
I know, right?
Clearly, that's what happened. Yeah.
Also, just gonna say this now. We're really not really connected, but the fact that it's based off of a real life issue that somebody wrote a book about. Hey, anybody that's making a horror game, look up Bubbly Creek and what they used to do there, where they fucking just let all the extra pieces from their meat factories go into the water to the point where, like, those entrails and stuff started to make islands. And it still bubbles to this day because there's still rotting things at the bottom of the river.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
No,
the book, but
thank you.
The book was called The Jungle, by the way, which is from 1906. So
Yeah,
there's photos. There's
game
photos
is
of
weird.
it, by the way. Just saying, it's a good idea for our location.
Whew. Alright, but that's, yeah. I'm not going to bore you with the other stuff I played because, fucking Overwatch. So let's talk about what's coming out this week. We've got Deceive Inc., which I know Terrence is playing. EA Sports PGA Tour Deluxe Edition. Super Fidos. The Settlers, New Allies. Dragon Pinball. MLB The Show, the Captain Edition.
I didn't know that was this week.
Yeah, well, that's the big, give us $1 billion and we'll give you early access to the game.
Yep.
The Crown of Wu, Witchcrafty, and Resident Evil 4. This is Xbox Series and PlayStation. We've also got Postal 4, No Regrets, sorry, that's on PlayStation. Tachia, I think that's how you say that. Last Labyrinth. Omen of Sorrow is finally getting its big update this week. Atla Ryza 3, Alchemists of the End and the Secret Key. And then we'll go over to PS4, Xbox One. Pretty much the same stuff. We also got... nope, that's next week. So nothing new on PlayStation 4. Xbox One...
PlayStation 4 should have Resident Evil 4.
Well, but I've already said Resident Evil.
Oh, okay, well, I'm just saying.
Yes, Resident Evil.
Xbox One ain't having that.
No, I'm on Xbox One now, which we're getting...
I'm just saying,
I
it's
know.
only coming to one of the things. You should probably cover that.
Well, we have in the past. I mean, if you got an Xbox One and you're trying to play Resident Evil 4, I'm sorry.
Go fuck yourself. Yeah, that's what Capcom said. Go fuck yourself. They put a memo.
Xbox One is finally getting Ni no Kuni 2, Revenant Kingdom. That's coming to Game Pass. Not for broadcast. I Dream of You and Ice Cream.
Oh, okay.
And Leela's Tale in the Hidden Forest. Whatever that is.
Right. Oh, okay.
I don't know what happened.
Okay, I looked up.
I don't either. That was good. Oh, okay.
I looked up I Dream of You and Ice Cream. And I'm just going to share a single image here. Because it's going to...
Oh,
it's not scary. It's not scary, but it is uncomfortable.
What in the world?
Okay.
It's a sinister creature has enslaved mankind. Solve puzzles, gather components for a machine you're building, find comfort in your dreams.
That looks like
Is
Woody
he directly to cripple someone?
Toy Story.
That picture looks like the opposite of taking comfort in my dreams.
Yep.
Right?
I Dream of You and Ice Cream is a game about imperialism, the loss of identity, and personal sacrifice. Then what the fuck is the name?
Of course
here,
is.
a sinister doll-like entity has enslaved all mankind. Inside the complex where, every day, the entity questions world leaders about aspects of humanity, a potentially lethal process. An old scientist of unspecified gender is building a machine. Sure.
The old scientist of unspecified gender is my favorite character from Eternal Champion.
Goddamn right it is.
I hope that this is the new running joke because that's the best.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna do Switch now. Looking at this list, I feel like if there's ever a week where we have a short show, a fun game to play on the Switch is like I'll read off some names and you tell me if this is a real game on the Switch. Like I feel like I could do that and you wouldn't believe me. So for the Switch this week we got animal names. Furry Fury Smash and Roll.
Oh God.
Yeah, you know what that is. Kung Fury Street Rage Ultimate Edition hits the Switch this week. Remnant from the Ashes finally coming to the Switch. Unheard Voices of Crime. Have a Nice Death. Saint Maker. Birds and Blocks.
Saint Maker?
Saint Maker.
Okay.
Birds and Blocks
Saint.
2. Fishing North Atlantic. Mighty Mage. Monorail Stories. Numolition. Rakuin. Sakura Neko Calculator. Scramballed. Song of Memories. Storyteller. Sushi Bar Express. Flash Out 3. Isle of Jura Fishing Trip. Nefasto's Misadventure Meeting No Rose. Parents vs. Kids. Steel Defier and Uzuzu My Pet. Those are your Switch games. You will have already forgotten about all of them.
I have.
Yeah. Yeah, Nintendo Switch, man. Alright. News. Oh, I closed my news. What was I thinking? Don't do that. Don't ever do that. Alright. Scroll down, get my news. Here we go. Microsoft is handing out 10-year deals for cloud gaming. The first one was with Boosteroid, which is a cloud service like GeForce Now, and the second is Ubidus, one of the cloud services that brings games to the Nintendo Switch.
Interesting.
So, next week they're going to give, 10-year deals to, I don't know, Samsung or something? I don't know. Andreas from Pentiment is joining Inculinati as a guest character.
Okay.
You said
That's a lot of stuff I don't understand.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
play Pentiment, so I don't know who Andreas is.
That's the main character.
Okay.
He's the main
Oh,
character.
right,
the one you
right.
control in the game.
Pentiment. I forgot about that.
Gotcha. Starfield received an R18 plus rating in Australia, and no, you cannot bang the aliens because you knew you were going to.
That's not a hard accomplishment.
Nobody gets the
In
role play
Australia?
as Captain Kirk.
Like, it's if there's drug use at all, like that's just automatically like that. They had to do that for. They had to do that for Fallout 3. I think they had to change all the names of drugs.
Yeah.
So.
PlayStation Plus for March. We got this, right? Where's my blog post? I'll come back to that. Last of Us will be more than 2 seasons. And also Neil Druckmann confirmed on Kind of Funny that they are working on their new game, but cannot confirm if it's Last of Us 3.
I would assume it would be.
I have to assume it is too.
Considering how popular that show is, oh man.
Yes.
You have to, right?
Yeah.
All right,
I
PlayStation
would think.
PlayStation Plus for the month of March. Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection, Tchia, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Extraction, Ghostwire Tokyo, Life is Strange True Colors, Immortals Phoenix Rising, Life is Strange 2, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, Street Fighter V Champion Edition, Untitled Goose Game, Final Fantasy Type 0 HD, Rage 2, Neo The World Ends With You, and Haven. And when I say Haven, I don't mean Orange Dreadlocks Haven from the PS2.
I was just getting ready to ask that question.
No, this is the one where the two lovers are on the planet and they skate around the planet.
Yeah. So I have loved watching. I've mentioned before. That was the guy that used to run Traveler's Tales. That was like a pet project of his.
Mm-hmm.
Haven, which was like very heavy into the Christianity symbolism. But apparently, like that was not his call to make him the main character, like an orange dreadlocked guy. it was going to be the Traveler's... You remember the old Traveler's Tales logo that had like a little fox raccoon looking thing?
Yep.
That's what it was supposed to be originally. But a game came out that had a character that was very close to that around the same time called Ratchet and Clank.
Oops.
Yeah, so it was like, well, that's not going to be a thing we're doing.
And then the classic games for the month continues to be a drip feed. We get 2 PSP games, including Ape Academy 2 and Sci-Fi Filter Dark Mirror. And then the PS1 game is the GOAT, Ridge Racer Type 4, which is cool, but really? One PS1 game? One?
That's it. That's all you get.
That's fucked up.
They said that's enough.
I'm so glad to pay for that extra tier for one PS1 game. Thank you, my overlord Sony. Thank you.
Is that the second tier or the third?
That's
tier?
the third tier, son.
I'm good, man.
Yeah,
I'm good.
That third tier is some shit. Nintendo Switch Online got 4 classic games for March. We get Kirby's Dream Land 2 for the Game Boy, Burger Time Deluxe for the Game Boy, Side Pocket for the Super Nintendo. They're really digging into the back catalog on that one. And Xevious for the NES. Citizen Sleeper is coming to PS5 on March 31st, together with the last free episode Purge. Tron Identity is launching April 11th for Nintendo Switch and PC. Meet Your Maker launches April 4th for everything and is also PlayStation Plus Day 1. Dead Static Drive announced its launch window of Q3 2024. Jesus. Xbox and PC also Day 1 Game Pass. We mentioned Ghostwire Tokyo earlier. It is also dropping on Xbox this week, on April 12th. Coming to Game Pass alongside the free Spider's Thread update. Sea of Stars is now coming to Xbox, which is awesome. The release date is August 29th, so that thing is out on everything.
And I was not interested in that at all until you said something about it being in the Messenger universe.
Yep, made by the same team, and it looks really, really good.
It is good. The demo's on Switch.
Yes, you can play the demo on Switch right now. Unreal Editor is coming to Fortnite. Launches on March 23rd. Your Next Dead Game, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, launches August 18th for everything except Switch, and is also Game Pass Day 1. Technical test set for March 25th. Coffee Talk 2 will launch Game Pass Day 1. Coffee Talk will launch Game Pass Day 1 on April 20th. Also coming to PS4, PS5, and Switch. Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origins, is finally coming to Steam on April 6th. And I'm sorry, this was the best announcement of the week. I don't care. Toxic Crusaders is coming back. It's a side-scrolling beat-em-up, and it's coming to
Looks awesome.
everything late 2023. All right. System Shock Remake has been delayed to May 30th. This game is never coming out. It was supposed to be out in March, now been delayed to May, and that's only the PC version. The console versions do not have a new date. John Spector, Overwatch 2 commercial lead and vice president, is leaving Blizzard after 6 years. Meta lays off 10,000 more employees? Jesus Christ. Let me scroll down through here. I'm saving the big boy for last so we can have that conversation. Forspoken apparently had a budget of $100 million.
Man.
Oh, wait. You're saying that Square Enix isn't necessarily great with money and planning?
87 million of that went into the menus.
What's funny about that is that they don't have any Western studios to blame anymore. Guilty Gear Strive Season Pass 2 playable character Bedman. Bedman. He's coming April 6th. Man, you're taking me back. I'm feeling that Soul Calibur vibe. Being like, Lizard Man.
Lizard Man.
Former Blizzard veterans Jen O'Neill, J. Allen Brack, and John Donham have established a new game studio called Magic Soup Games. And then two other former Blizzard devs, Jay Wilson and Julian Love, have formed another new studio called Gas Giant Games.
And we wish them well.
Indubitably. Hey, you want to play Far Cry 5? Because now you can play it at 60 frames per second on Xbox Series and PS5.
5 was good. I need to finish 6.
I'm just going to say it now, by the way, on reference to the new studios. I swear to God, if they come out with fucking Battle Royales or just another Overwatch, just...
Oh, one of the studios is making an action RPG.
Okay, good.
So,
at least that hopefully single player.
It's a Souls.
You know what?
Game.
At this point, at least if it's a single player Souls game, there's some longevity to it. Instead of like having a multiplayer game come out, be played for a month, and then just die and have a bunch of waste of assets.
Some of them don't even get played for a month.
Yeah,
that'd be
Some
true.
of them don't. That's true.
Let's not forget the last time Blizzard employees made an action RPG.
Oh, you mean Torchlight?
Torchlight.
And turned into the third game, whatever the fuck that was.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, what
Torchlight 2
happened to
was
that?
so good.
Torchlight 2 is
Yep.
good, but like you hanging on to the past because that game is now what? Going on 20 years old? A little close?
Torchlight?
Torchlight 2?
Torchlight 2 is not 20 years old, boss.
When did Torchlight 2 come out?
Torchlight 2 came out around the
came
same
out
time
like
as
Diablo
Diablo
3.
3.
Dude, I don't wanna-
It's 11 years.
Like
It's
a
11
month?
years.
I was gonna
A
say
month
don't
after or something.
compare it to Diablo 3 because I don't think you want to know how old that game is.
And it should be noted that that Runic Games went under.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Torchlight 3 was a
And
different
the
studio. I know.
Yeah, because Hob was their last game.
Yeah. Which Hob
There's
never
a
got ported.
Torchlight mobile game right now, Torchlight Infinite or whatever. So Torchlight's they're on a different path. Okay,
No, I
they're-
don't think there is a mobile game anymore. I think
mean,
that became
It's
Torchlight
on my
3.
phone.
Torchlight 3.
Torchlight 3 was not initially supposed to be an action RPG, if I remember correctly. It was supposed to be like an MMO, right?
Torchlight Frontiers was its original name.
Yeah.
Torchlight Frontier is on my is what's out right now. That's the mobile game. It's
That is
literally on my
Torchlight.
phone.
That is literally Torchlight 3.
But there is a Torchlight
It's-
3 also on
Well,
PC and
why the
console.
fuck did they use the name twice?
I don't know.
Bro, I don't know. Okay, because I don't know.
Darren's is like,
Right
I'm
is
looking
right.
at it right now on my phone.
I know I played
Like,
Torchlight
it's called
3
fucking
on...
Torchlight Infinite. Like, nigga, it's a different game. Like, it's on Steam
Oh,
too.
Infinite.
but, like,
Okay, all right. There. Okay, I see it now. I see that there's a different thing. Ooh, mixed
we've been
reviews. Good
Christ
job,
on the
everybody.
cross.
But
We
you
got a
said it
bunch
was
of Torchlight
Frontiers, and I
stuff.
was like, no, Frontiers was 3.
Look, my point is
You
that
should have said
Torchlight's on a
Infinite. I
different
wouldn't have
path.
disagreed.
He did say
Fair
Infinite
enough.
first time.
After the fact, he
I
agreed
did,
with the
like-
Frontiers.
Anyways, it was on a different path. That's my point.
Also,
Go ahead.
is a successor of the award-winning ARPG franchise Torchlight. Mixed reviews.
Mixed.
Dang.
Stray
feels
Souls
bad.
is announced for Xbox Series X, One, PS4, 5, and PC, launching this fall. What else we got here? IOI, the Hitman developers, announced the opening of a new studio in Istanbul.
Not Constantinople.
Speaking of mobile games, Persona 5, The Phantom X, is coming to iOS and Android. Second Life coming to mobile, which is weird.
Is that still a thing?
Yeah, that's still a thing.
Holy crap. Okay.
Former Criterion devs have established a new studio called Fuse Games. And then Remnant 2 introduces the Handler class, which comes with a dog. Also set launch window for summer 2023. Now let's talk about a big rumor that happened this week. The PS5 Pro. Why?
I don't think they need that. I mean, I feel
Yeah,
like
They don't.
for
Yeah.
what reason?
I don't know about this quote unquote rumor.
Yeah, I don't either.
It's
Was it that lumberjack
It
guy? 'Cause
seems
it was
no,
that guy.
no. I wouldn't report a story
It
by
seems
that
like
jackass.
bullshit.
This came from the guy who leaks press releases and calls it insider information. So he does have sources.
Oh wow.
But yeah,
What would it do? Are we at 8K now? Is that a thing? Like,
I mean-
why would it,
Didn't Sony put 8K on the PS5 box or something? Isn't 8K on a box somewhere?
Actually, I feel like it is. So why do you need this? They just raised the price of their systems, and now they're gonna give us another model. Like, I need y'all to calm down.
I don't think we need one because number one, this generation got so delayed that we haven't even seen games take advantage of these hardwares.
I mean, we still got games that are coming out on both.
Yeah,
exactly. Like they just now are doing the only this current gen game releases.
Yeah,
and I don't think we actually have one yet, do we?
That's why I tend to think this is bullshit. This feels like one of those things that they're gonna come out with a PS5 Pro 4 years from now, and this guy's gonna be like, "See, I told you."
Yeah, but do we really need that though? Like in 4 years, will we need a PS5 Pro?
I don't know. I mean, in 4 years, we'll be 6 years out from or 7 years out from the launch, right?
Yeah. Why have a Pro then? Why not just have the 6?
I'm making up a number, Ken. I'm just saying.
He's throwing darts at a calendar now.
I mean, you should be an insider on Twitter then, Ryan, if you're just throwing darts at a calendar.
You still can't walk into a store and just buy the thing that you want.
You can on PS5. You can on PS5 now.
No, not here. I have not walked into an EB Games or a Walmart that's had one there.
Well, I mean, that's also archaic, too, because everybody buys online now.
You're right, but there's no, okay, but there's no impulse buy. Like, you know what I mean? There's not like, oh, there's one here now.
I tripped over some Series S's on my way out yesterday.
I have seen a couple Series S's, but that's about it. And it's just like, there is a portion of the market, like right now we're still dealing with mostly people who are somewhat, like people who listen to this podcast, all 17 of you, going for more than, yeah, I know, we've gone up.
Damn.
But like, you're engaging with video games. When they hit their sort of mass market adoption, like, you have to be able to just be able to purchase them. Like, that's the issue right now, is you can't just purchase one of these. There's still hoops you have to jump through to some extent. So, like, you're not going to get that mass adoption if they're not in fucking stores. And I don't know if it's scalpers that just manage to grab all them still or whatever, but I have yet to see either a Series X or a PS5 in a store. Does it mean that they're extremely hard to get? No, but it does mean that, again, there's a portion of the population that's just not going to engage with this, who don't feel it necessary to go out to look for one. It's a nicety rather than a need, I guess. So it is this very weird place right now where you're not going to see that until they're constantly everywhere. So planning for another console when you barely have one on store shelves, you can say, well, that's irrelevant, that's old school marketing. But like, yes, but when you're in a Walmart, you're getting other things, and a PS5 could be something you swing by electronics and check to see if they have any, right? Like, it's just very odd to me that, like, it is as, like, I just don't know people that have PS5s. My dad has one, but none of my friends do outside of this group. Nobody cares enough.
As of right now, only 2 people on the show have a PS5.
Right.
And it's like, it's very odd that there isn't this, like, I'm playing on PS5, I'm playing on Series X. There just isn't that conversation happening. Outside of video game spaces.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I can kind of transition into one of the questions from Twitter, which is for you, Anthony. Profiti says, "What's up, fellas? Hope all is well. I have a question for Anthony. Why haven't you gone next gen as of yet?"
No, that's a good.
That's actually a really good question.
Yeah. So, eventually there's always a game that I find that I need to play. That I want, like, so. When I went to PS4, I felt like the options were cut off a lot sooner. There's more of a distinct line between the end of the PS3 360 era and the beginning of Xbox One PS4. And that has not happened yet. Like, the transitional period was, maybe a year with PS4
At
and
most.
Xbox One. Yeah, and like you were seeing, and they took hits real quick. Like, you know, your Wolfenstein was fine, but on Xbox it was 4 discs. Sure, Tomb Raider looked good, but no one bought the previous version of Tomb Raider. Forza Horizon 2 on Xbox 360 wasn't as open as its Xbox One counterpart.
The Nemesis system was missing from
Shadow.
Shadow.
So there was a lot of things that were like quickly you're like, okay, this needs more power. Plus the jump from jagged, bad anti-aliased PS3 to a much smoother looking PS4. That's a bigger jump to me than a PS4 to what we have now, or a Xbox One to what we have now. Arguably, the biggest sell to me right now on a technical level is faster load times, and that's about it. There isn't a video game that I have seen that I'm like, I need to play that. Oh, it's only next gen. The closest I've come is Hi-Fi Rush, and I'm just not. It's going to be there. Like it's a new franchise, and yeah, I'd probably really enjoy it, but at the same time, like it's not a necessity for me to play. Also, I have such a huge backlog. What am I gonna do? Fucking pile more shit on top?
Yes.
Like, yeah, it's
Yes. Why would you not
that's
do that?
because it's unhealthy, and I'm trying not to do that.
I'm being
in my
funny,
life.
man. Yeah,
you're
I know.
right, but
Yeah.
I'm legitimately answering it because I do have that issue of like constantly like, well, once I'm done this, well, you're not done 90 other things too. So like, what the fuck are you doing? So. You know, it's a multitude of factors. The biggest one being that I just don't see the benefit of me going out and spending $700 after tax, wherever the fuck it's going to be in Canada, because they raised the price. And the other fact is that like I have so much shit that I have to play. Like I'm really enjoying Fist of the North Star, Lost Paradise right now. That game is 5 years old, maybe.
2018, I believe.
Yeah, so close enough. Yeah, actually, that would be perfect. Yeah, I think of it, yeah, because I don't think it was 2017. Anyways, doesn't matter. You know, and that's an old game. And it's just like I should probably play something that I already have access to before I start looking at things I don't have access at. And I'm trying to be better with that portion of my life, because at one point in time I was buying every new release that came out, and let me tell you, you don't play a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yep, that's why I started only playing one game at a time, really, in terms of games that have a story and that can be quote-unquote beat. Because I found when I was trying to play everything on time with everybody else, I never finished anything.
The second part of his question is, have you guys heard anything that's not a rumor about Nintendo's next console? No. I don't work for Nintendo.
No.
Nintendo plays
that works for them.
Nintendo plays that stuff close to their chest. I remember when the Switch was getting announced, even people that had some idea of what it was going to be, that was like, oh yeah, they were right on this portion, they still even had information that was incorrect at the end of the day. And I'm not even shitting on them. Like, they were clearly getting proper information, but stuff wasn't fully thought out.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be relatively soon, though, because, I mean,
my guess
we're
is next
deep
year.
into life cycle for the Switch. So
yeah, my guess
Next year
is
it comes out, or next year we hear about it.
Well, it comes out next year. I truly think it'll be out in like spring of 2024. That's my guess. What it'll be, I don't know.
Is it like in the summer?
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be like a new thing or if it's going to be like a Super Switch. I don't know. But I'm going to tell you this, as much as that thing has sold and as many games that are on it, if it is not compatible with all the Switch games, there is going to be an uproar.
Yep.
I agree with you, but I feel
does
like
not care about uproars.
No, they don't care.
But I will say that Nintendo has been very good about backwards compatibility over the years. So
they were for a while. They haven't been in a while.
Well, really only because they completely switched format. Right?
Sorry.
They completely switched formats with the Switch. So, yeah, I mean, they're not going to backwards compatibility support the disc games that you bought for your Wii U. Right?
No, they're just gonna repackage them for $60.
Right, exactly.
And then turn off the store to where you can never buy them again.
Right.
Yeah, that's happening soon.
But guys, this one
Next
has
week.
funky mode.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like the funky mode. I don't know. We say that, but like if Nintendo dropped that Wind Waker HD next week, my ass would be there, hitting that purchase button. Shit.
For $60.
Fucking
Yep,
right.
70. It would be 70. And it's 30-70 for it.
Oh. Also, he says, "Do we need
Wind
a PS...
Waker's worth it. Sorry, Wind Waker's worth it. Twilight Princess. Wait for a sale.
a
lot of
sale on a
slog in that
Nintendo
beginning.
game? What crack you smoking?"
They hold on. They go down to like maybe $15 off now and then.
Once in a blue moon, Nintendo's like, "Hey, you want to buy some games?"
We'll sell it to you for $40.
Yeah, 40.
Yes,
6 years after it comes out. Yeah.
Right, but
He also asked, "Do we need a PS5 Pro?" The answer is no. We don't need a PS5 Pro. What's up with this? Alim says, "Sup, old fatty dudes? What the fuck is that? What?
I mean,
I lost a lot of weight.
yeah, Drew's lost a ton of weight.
Drew needs
I mean,
a
I have
Aaron's lost
sandwich.
a ton of weight too.
I don't know if you've seen
Yeah,
him lately,
damn,
but
man.
you need a sandwich. Like clothes falling off of you.
I had to buy all new pants.
Oh,
Yeah. How much?
I had to do that too.
Did you
I
have
had to buy all new
play
pants, but for a
to
different
earn
reason.
pants?
you play Paw Patrol to earn your pants. You get those with Microsoft Rewards. He says, "Have you ever tried camel meat before?" Well, you guys should, because it tastes like beef without much of the red meat.
I have not tried camel meat before. There's
I
Not
would
a
try
whole lot
it.
of camels in Southwest Ohio.
Yeah,
You get
right.
that shit imported. What are you talking about?
No, I have not
Jungle
tried
Gems
camel
might
meat.
have it.
I bet you
Like,
there's
I
some
don't
place
have
around
it.
here that's got it. Like specialty restaurant probably has it. I mean, it's not like there's sharks
Probably.
around Southwest Ohio too, but we can get that.
Yeah, I mean, it's all black market.
That's what I'm saying.
shit.
Jungle Gems probably sells it. You can find literally everything there.
Yeah,
you need
they
a
probably
6-pack
have
of
it.
duck heads? They got it. What do you need a 6-pack of them for? I don't know, but they have
I don't
it
know what
there.
you need one for.
I don't,
Right? Like
I'm
when I saw that, I'm like,
confused.
what is this for?
More duck heads in that pack than we got listeners.
That's true.
Right?
Anthony said 17 earlier. I'm like, man, if we had 17 listeners, I'd have to fix my hair before we did this show.
Why? Nobody can see you.
It's classy, Ken.
Oh, okay. You just want to feel
Go be
classy.
classy.
That's right.
Right?
I'd have to take this shit
shit.
serious. Might have to actually spend money on a microphone and
Oh,
not
I'm
use the
dying.
headset
Oh,
that
God.
I got when my company shut down 3 years ago.
Oh, fuck. This is the Frugal Podcast. What are you talking about?
We save that
Right.
money for duck heads.
You're fucking right. I bet those
I'm
things are
using
expensive.
a legit
too.
microphone, guys.
Yeah, he
You're
spent the
using a
money.
legit microphone?
Do you use
Yeah, I'm
reward
using the
points
Yeti.
for that?
Yeah.
We gotta go his level. This man was like, I freaked the whole house with
I got-
reward
I got it.
points.
I got a
You know what
Yeti too, but I never thought about using it as a microphone. It just keeps shit hot. Sometimes it keeps shit cold.
That's what Yeti
I mean?
do.
Wow.
He also wants to know, will we ever see Drew play El Fuerte in future Street Fighter games? I recently checked out the story of 6, and it seems that Capcom is finally on to something.
Highly doubt they will ever add El Fuerte back.
He ain't coming back.
He was a niche character to begin with, and not many people played him. Unfortunately.
He says, I also recently finished Guardians of the Galaxy game, and it was awesome. Too bad it didn't get enough recognition.
I just
My
want to
game of the
say
year.
around Street Fighter 6 that I hope all of the Final Fight references in that game mean we're going to get a new Final Fight.
That's never happening. We'll get Final Fight Streetwise remastered.
I would love a new Final
What?
Fight in the Streets of Rage 4 style.
Did I confuse you with the Final Fight, like the deep cut right
That's
there?
that fucking terrible
You
3D
did. I was
version.
like,
Ugh. Don't
Jesus.
look it up. Just live in ignorance. It's better.
It's only on the
Okay,
Saturn.
I will then.
On the Saturn. Or no, that was the
Dang
PS... Wait, which one am I
No,
thinking?
there's
a
no
P-
there was no Saturn Final Fight game. I don't think.
Yeah, there is. There's a fighting game. I know that for a fact.
Oh, okay. Then Final Fight Revenge. I've never seen this in my life. Okay.
I played it.
That's not the one, though. That's not the one.
Streetwise
Final Fight
is the
Xbox
PS2,
one.
that was PS2. Is it Xbox?
I think it was Xbox. Hold on.
Final Fight Streetwise, I think, was PS2.
I'm looking it up. Yeah, it was Xbox. Oh, so it's PlayStation 2 and Xbox.
Okay, so it was both. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
That game is bad.
Oh, and they're the developers of Final Fight Revenge, too.
Yep.
At least the Maximo series was better.
John says, I just want to say I heard Wombat sing Space Lord last week, and I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Says, gave me a chuckle. Also, I'm having a blast playing Diablo 4. It's basically my first time with an ARPG, and I can see I've been missing out.
Yeah, man.
Check out Diablo 2 Resurrected when you get a chance.
I think you should just play Diablo 3. Diablo 3 is just so good.
Diablo 3 is good, but man, you can't beat the GOAT.
Diablo 2 is not accessible like Diablo 3 is for people who are getting into these games. Diablo 2 is a game you play if you're a veteran of these kind of games.
No.
Just go play Diablo on the PS1.
No, that's rough to go back to.
Dude.
Yeah, don't do all of that.
It's rough to go back to the It's rough to go back to the PC version. I don't know if you've ever played that PS1 version, but by God,
I did at a sleepover because they rented it.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, I was like, man, I got this on computer at the house. Like this is awful.
Yeah, but back then, if you didn't have a PC, you're like, this is the shit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like playing StarCraft on the N64.
Yeah. Oh, I had a friend that swore by that because
Dude,
I had
played
it on
it.
PC.
I played it like a month ago. It's still not good.
Really? Yeah. See, I didn't. Yeah,
I don't think they changed it.
You don't know? They might have patched it. N64 got a patch.
StarCraft.
Yeah, N64 got a patch. All right. That's all the tweets. I'll check the email box one more time, but there wasn't anything in there 5 minutes ago, and there's still nothing in there now. Whew. So that was so bad. Even though 15 minutes late start because I fucked up the audio, it's fine.
I feel like we should.
Hour and 45 minutes of Diablo. I'm sorry, y'all.
It's fine.
My bad.
I expect it next week, too.
Oh, Resident Evil's next
Well,
week.
it'll probably be less. But
Resident Evil's
probably
next week, too.
Okay, well, there's be one conversation about both. Also, I guess we should say Lance Reddick passed away.
Yeah, that fucked me up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I know someone will mention it probably if we don't say it. And yeah, man,
Like, that's
talk
like
about
out
a
of
guy who's just
nowhere.
fucking good.
Dude was
at
playing
everything.
Destiny the night before it happened. Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Yep. Huge part of Horizon, obviously, so that'll be disappointing moving forward.
Go watch The
Yeah,
Wire.
I saw they posted a message about him. Absolutely. Yeah, The Wire is so good.
I mean,
because he's getting a lot of talk about John Wick right now, but The Wire is so good.
He was good in everything. Listen,
He really
Fringe,
was. I can't think of a
Fringe-
bad role that he's had.
I'm gonna just say it now. Fringe, like most of the stuff that what's his name touches,
Abrams.
Yeah, it's not. It ends up like shit. He is always one of the best parts of that fucking show. He was great in Quantum Break.
Dude, I know nobody liked it.
Oh my god, he was in
but
Quantum
go watch,
Break. Yeah.
Go watch him ham it up as Wesker in that Resident Evil Netflix show.
I'm going to. Actually.
He killed that role.
I'm sad it got canceled because I heard it was actually good.
I liked it.
but yeah,
Everybody else hated it. I liked it. Oh, people hate everything. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
They made Welcome to Raccoon City, which
Was
was
it-
supposed to be like a remake of the actual games. I mean, they changed some things. It was the closest thing to the games, and they still hated that too.
Oh, I
Was
like
the
that movie.
the Resident
I liked it a
Evil
lot.
thing? Was it live action?
Yeah, it's live action.
It's a Netflix series.
Yep. Which you can't tell. Sometimes they make CGI. Sometimes they make the anime.
Yeah.
I mean, his
Dude,
voice.
Yeah, they say it that way too.
They do. They're
His
like
voice
Netflix anime.
would have been
Yeah, his voice
perfect
is awesome. Like,
would have been perfect for Wesker in the games too if they brought him back.
Dude, when you see him in the trench coat and the sunglasses in the TV show, you're like, oh shit. So good. But yeah, that fucked me up. Like, it's just out of nowhere.
Yeah, he was excellent.
I thought it was fake. Like, there's no way. Like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, because he was, I know he was 60, but he was a healthy-looking 60.
No shit. I don't know, man. It's crazy. I hate when...
Check up, y'all.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, I hate when this shit happens because I immediately question my mortality. I'm like, I ain't no spring chicken no more.
You can never guarantee tomorrow, boss.
That's right.
that is true.
Let's bring this podcast down. Shit.
Hey,
Saying,
I just
live your
wanted
life
to
to the fullest.
I just wanted to tell how disappointing that news is. Just say he was great in a ton of video games, and I don't know, we lost somebody who actually gave a shit and treated it like it was a great medium. And he
took it seriously, which is awesome.
And I'm gonna throw out one because I got fucking Terrence to listen to it. He's probably my favorite Thomas Wayne.
Oh yeah, and that
he was he's
thing.
Thomas Wayne in Batman Unburied.
Mm-hmm. That's a really good series on Spotify. Oh my god, that's good.
Yeah, and it's so distinct, but you still get lost in the fucking role he's playing.
He was great in Destiny.
Yep.
Yeah, they had a big
Zavala.
vigil to him.
Zavala,
in the game.
yeah.
Yep. It's crazy. All right. That's it for this week. If you want to shoot us an email, it's podcast@ztgd.com. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it's @ZTGD Podcast. You can tweet at us there. You can follow the site at ZTGD Content. You can follow me at ZTGD, Drew at DML Fury, Terrence at Lord Magnus, and Ryan at Wombat RP. You can also check out Phoenix Down, Like a Dragon. Probably finishing up next couple weeks, I would say. Maybe?
Say 2 weeks, maybe.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Check that out. Unless anybody has anything else, we'll get out of here. Peace, bitches.
Alrighty. And it goes something like this.